To make a move like that, you have to have kahunas and conviction.
Long term, I'm bullish. We could see about a 20% correction next year.
This is Josh Jalinski, the financial quarterback. Don't touch that dial. So one of my 7 kids wants to take my business. I had another guy who left me really good advice, but I don't know if I agree with that so much. He was a part of a family business, and he was big on, he works with us. His name's George. He works for a company. He ran like a family, I want to say a restaurant chain. He was from kind of the restaurant business. And he said there's a lot of pressure on one kid typically to take over the business. And you kind of want to take the pressure off of that kid. Others say, hey, do something for somebody else for a few years and then come back. Any tips? So little Josh wants to take over my company. The oldest girls don't seem to have any interest, by the way. So, we're not that we're really pressuring anybody, but I think my third born and my fourth born seem to like, yeah, unless I'm going to be a baseball player or a soccer player, I want to work for you, Dad, because we're just like best buddies. And so that kind of naturally, so George said, don't put pressure on that kid to take over the business. Kind of tell him, hey, it's okay to do something else. But I don't know if that really helps anything. And then other people have said, hey, go work for somebody else for a year or two so you don't develop that sense of entitlement. Any tactical tips? But then part of me thinks in my 20s, I learned so much about business and life because I worked 20 hours a day at my craft. I didn't, go to bars. I didn't hang out late at night. I just studied and really hone the craft. So to me, that 20 to 30 period that a lot of people squander in kind of what you're saying, hey, give that child from 20 to 30 opportunity to almost have a business within a business. Here's your laboratory. Go make things, go create, but sort of not have any pressure of running the business. So I don't know, any thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's wonderful that you have 2 children that want to join you and have that closeness of relationship that want to do that with you. So that's really, really amazing. For me, it was important to work outside. Well, I had no intention of coming into the business, not because it was something I was opposed to. It was just not something that I was interested in. When I decided to come into the business, it was important to me to have worked outside, to have gone to graduate school, not because I was worried about having a sense of entitlement or my father was worried about my having a sense of entitlement. My concern was that others would think I had a sense of entitlement. So it was very important for me to do those things firstly, so that it wasn't perceived that I only got this job because of nepotism. And look, someone just asked me, how do you avoid nepotism? You don't. It's just a fact. I am my father's daughter. That's it. So it was important to me to be able to combat that as much as possible. And that I did through, again, working outside, going to school, and when I came in, working very hard and very diligently, because I wanted people, not just in our organization, but in the industry overall, to recognize my level of capability.
And did you feel any pressure from your father to run the business? Because you hear that a lot. And I have another business friend of mine, very successful business. He's like, I don't want my kid in my business. My business is a failing business. So, which is kind of interesting. So that's interesting. What other tips do you think your father imparted to you that enabled you to succeed or evolve?
My father was very good about doing what you're saying, some people do. He did not put pressure on to join the business. Once I was in the business, he was not pressuring me to be in certain areas of the business. He very much allowed things to happen organically. And that was very positive for me. I didn't look at it as, okay, this is what my father wants, so I want to do it. It allowed me to develop a love and excitement for the business on my own. And that then in turn drove me to want to do it well and to succeed.